We've seen the unemployment numbers as a result of the pandemic. They are staggering. And with the virus continuing to spread and the economy staggering, more than half of Americans fear losing their jobs. And there's a segment of the community that believes they are too old to find a new career, let alone a job. Hiring expert Michael Goldberg from Hiring Transform joins me again here on The Morning Show. Hey, Michael.
Good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Very well. There have been a wave of layoffs. Financial losses are mounting, and there is no doubt people are worried. It's a problem.
It is a big problem. They haven't really planned for this. I think by now people are kind of bracing just to kind of see where it's going to go. And I really think the best thing that you can do is have a strategy before you even start looking for a job, is to have a real job search strategy in place. Otherwise, you're just going to be applying the jobs and your resume is going to be going into what they call the applicant tracking system black hole. Some to be seen, most are never seen or replied to.
So you mentioned they don't have a strategy and they don't know, where do you begin? Where do you begin developing that strategy?
So the way I coach my clients is really based on two things. First, you got to start with yourself. You got to really look at the values. What are your values? What's important to you? What's the type of position you want to do? How do you plan when you're looking at your connections? Are you looking at meaningful connections that can help through LinkedIn or through family, friends? They can connect you to maybe somebody in a targeted company. And a lot of people don't have that targeted company, targeted industry, targeted company size. And those are the things that I normally recommend that they start with. Second component is start writing out your accomplishments. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and basically they hadn't started that process yet, and they were feeling down. So what I suggested to them was just write down all of your accomplishments and then start digging a little further into those successes that you had, and write out the story using a STAR methodology, which is situation, task, action, and results. And when you write that out, you have a nice story to tell during the interview process, and you also have some information you can put on your resume. So
what's the biggest mistake that people make?
They just start applying right away. They jump on the mega job boards. We all know what those are, and they just start applying, and they think, well, if I can be the first, if I can be in the first 10 applicants, I have a good shot of getting recognized or called. And that's not necessarily true. Also, people, because they don't really know what they're trying, what they want in terms of their next position, they just start applying for everything that they think they're remotely qualified for. And that's also another big mistake. And it's also a waste of time.
Yeah. How about for those who say, I'm too old to find a new career, I can't reinvent myself? That negativity is not going to help you.
No, that's a great point. Is ageism real? Yes. But the way to get over that is to keep yourself both physically and mentally fit. As they say, age is a number, but people couldn't tell. I'm 55 years old, but I exercise every day. I eat healthy, and really, what you should be doing when you want to reinvent yourself is take a look at the skills that you've had in previous jobs. And then if you want to reinvent yourself, look at the skills that are required in that new position. And what's great is once you write all that out and you have this nice list at the ready, you'll see that you actually have a lot of common skills with the position you want to go into. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to go from a rocket, a rocket engineer from a rocket engineer to a brain surgeon. You're not going to be able to do that, right? So think realistically about what skills you have and how you can transfer that to another type of occupation.
So how are they best applicable? So, you also figure out how do you best sell yourself. And most times these days, it's virtually.
It is. The best way to do this is to really start thinking about your story. So it's the first question in every interview. Tell me about yourself. And that's where a lot of people will drone on for about 10 to 15 minutes if they haven't really thought about it because they're getting nervous. And so they start rambling. So the best way to tell your story is to think succinctly, especially with the tell me about yourself. Tell me who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the table. What's that unique superpower that you bring to the table that that some people may have, but that you have and you're confident. And when you practice telling that story, and it shouldn't be no more than 2 to 3 minutes long, you're just talking about high-level accomplishments, you're introducing yourself, and then you're ending with a wow statement that's going to really impress your interviewers there.
So here's what I can do for you that nobody else can. Michael Goldberg, some good advice, and hopefully it'll help some of the people who are watching right now get that job. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care.
Coming up on 8:45, we'll be right back.